Saving Mr. Banks. I saw the preview for this movie in July of 2013, and I hadn't been more anticipated for a film since Hangover Part 3. And I wanted to see this movie so bad, and when it finally came out, man, did it bring back so many great memories of being a kid and watching Mary Poppins, and oh man, was it so good. I mean, I'm actually kind of surprised that Emma Thompson isn't nominated as playing for her portrayal as P.L. Travers. I mean, I thought she was really good. I mean, it looked like Oscar nominated to me. Tom Hanks, you know, he was pretty good as Walt Disney. It wasn't anything Oscar nominated worthy, but it was still pretty powerful. It was pretty good. I mean, I thought he did an okay job. But this movie, man, you know, I'm going to buy this movie when it comes out. I really, really liked it. I really did. It's got that 60s feel to it, of course. You know, you know, this is a time period in the early 60s when they were working on Mary Poppins. It was a really good movie, really good performances. I don't know what else to say about it. If you're a fan of Mary Poppins, go see this movie. Even if you're not, here's the deal, even if you haven't seen the original Mary Poppins. Wow, really? Some of you people haven't seen Mary Poppins? Oh man, you're missing out. You gotta see Mary Poppins. Okay, but even if you haven't seen it, still check out this movie. This is a movie about an author who doesn't want to let her most prized possession be ridiculed by someone else. Okay, P.L. Travers wrote Mary Poppins, this book series, based on real people that were related to her in her life. And she didn't want... It took Walt Disney 20 years to get the rights to make the movie. And he wanted to do it because he saw potential in it. He promised his daughters that he would make that into a movie. And he really liked the stories. And P.L. Travers was worried that she was going to turn it into something, you know, like, to her, a cartoon. Something silly and ridiculous and childish. But to him, it was something, it meant something to him, too. He didn't write it, and he didn't go through what she did, but he understood why she didn't want to give it up that easy. He understood it. And, you know what? Even though P.L. Travers, that's one of the thing I didn't like about, the only thing I didn't like about the movie was that the real P.L. Travers did not like the Mary Poppins movie. She didn't like Mary Poppins. Where in the movie it was vice versa. But I really liked this movie. I really did. And if you haven't seen it, I encourage you all to see it when it comes out on DVD. Captain Phillips. Okay, this is the movie where Tom Hanks gets the nomination. Okay, good. Good. At least he gets nominated for something. Because this might be one of the greatest roles he's done since maybe Forrest Gump or Castaway, in my opinion, because he was really, really good. I mean, I really, really liked this movie. I must have seen this movie maybe 5 or 7 times at least. I loved it. I loved it from beginning to end. The acting was great. I mean, again, much like Lone Survivor, it could have been really happening. I mean, I was scared shitless of what was going to happen and everything, because I didn't really know the whole true story. I didn't know about really anything about it. Again, much like everyone, I was thinking of the South Park episode, yes, of the, you know what I'm talking about, the one where Cartman goes to, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that one I would constantly think. With a yo-ho-ho and a tricky-lotty-do. Oh, man. Alright, I gotta stay on topic here. But, yeah, this is a really, really good movie. I'm not, you know, this is a story where, a ship captain has his ship taken over by Somalian pirates, and he's got to find a way out of it, and they got to find a way out of it, too, because they want to, because they're doing it not for their own benefit, but for, other people that they're working for, They don't want to take anyone hostage. They just want the boat. They just want stuff, but, Anyway, as far as the movie goes, it was really satisfying. It was really good. Do I think it's going to get Best Picture of the Year? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It deserves to be nominated, obviously. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, Captain Phillips, 2 thumbs up, as Siskel and Ebert would say. And it's a shame that neither of them got to see this movie. It's really a shame. It's a shame they didn't get to see a lot of these movies. It really is. You know, I want to take time out of this real quick to say something about Roger Ebert, because we lost him in 2013. We did, and he was... I just want to say a few things about him real quick. I already did in an episode I did, but you know what? To this day, and probably for the rest of my life, every time I go see a movie that I either like or dislike, I always ask myself, what would Roger think of this movie? Do you ever ask yourself that? If you're a Roger Ebert fan, or even a Gene Siskel fan, or if you like talking about movies in general, do you ever ask yourself that nowadays? Whenever you see a movie in theaters, a movie you really like, that you really got passionate about, or a movie that you disliked, and yeah, I always ask myself, it's a shame that Roger Ebert didn't get to see this, or Gene Siskel didn't get to see this, and what would they think about it? And I always say to myself, well, how do I think about it? How do I feel? You know? Because you're entitled to your own opinion. What you think doesn't matter, but it's a good thing to share those opinions, because you find out more about each other when you talk about stuff, this kind of stuff, like I'm doing right now. Yeah, I really miss Roger Ebert. I really do. Well, we can't get down about this. It's Oscar night. You know, it's a time to celebrate movies and glorify film, and yeah, let's keep going. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire. I saw the first Hunger Games movie. I thought it was okay. I saw this one. It made me a huge fan of this franchise. I loved it. I cannot wait to see Mockingjay. I can't wait to see Part 1 and Part 2. I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be great. I might as well just go and get the book and read the book, and I would be okay with that. But, no, but I really, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, she's starting to get really well known nowadays. You know, she's picking a lot of good movies. She's a good actress. I really like her. I think she's really good. Josh Hutcherson, who I've always been a fan of. You know, Little Manhattan. That's one of my favorite films that he did when I was a kid. I love that movie. Woody Harrelson as Haymitch. You know, I like it. Donald Sutherland as President Snow. Philip Seymour Hoffman, you know, as Plutarch Heavensbee, I think his name. Yeah, I mean, really good story, because in the first one we know about the games and less about the world, and in this one it's vice versa. We know a lot more about the surroundings rather than just focused on the games. I really liked Catching Fire. I cannot wait till it comes out on DVD. I will get that the day it comes out. I really like this movie a lot. And if you haven't seen it yet, you better check it out. Better check it out. Yeah. It's gonna be really, really great. It is great. It's a great movie. Next one. History of the Eagles. Okay, this is a documentary that came out on Showtime in February of 2013. So it counts, people. I have always been a huge Eagles fan. My mom... I should probably tell you which one of my parents is a fan of the Eagles. My mom is. My dad likes the Eagles, but he never had any Eagles records growing up. I mean, he likes them. He likes Don Henley. You know, he's a fan of his and everything, but not as big as my mom. Okay. I love the Eagles. I always have. Seeing this documentary was really something, because they've been private a lot. This documentary is a 3-hour documentary about everything from when they were born up until now. That's basically it. There's a lot of archival footage that we've never seen before. There's a lot of talk about how they made their albums. There's interviews from all 7 of the Eagles. Glenn, Don, Timothy, Bernie, Randy, Joe Walsh, and Don Felder. All 7. All 7 Eagles are interviewed in this. It's not just Glenn and Don like everybody thinks it is. It's not. And Timothy and Joe. No, it's everybody. And that seems fair. That really does. I really liked this movie. I started listening to more Eagles tunes as this documentary was approaching. I listened to Hotel California really for the first time. I really liked that. I was getting into Try and Love Again. I really love that song. After watching the documentary, I had no idea that Randy sang Take It to the Limit. I always thought that was Glenn. I'm sorry. It just sounded like Glenn Frey to me. I never knew Randy Meisner sang Take It to the Limit originally. I had no idea. That blew me away. If you guys haven't seen this documentary, even if you're not an Eagles fan, you might get into this. You might want to get into this. It's really interesting. They talk about Hotel California. They talk about the breakup. The breakup was one of the main points of the documentary because a lot of people always ask the Eagles, why did you break up? You know, why did you stop? Because you did Hotel California, and then you did the long run, and then you quit. Why? And they pretty much answer it in a really dramatic way with their music playing and everything. And that's one of the most dramatic pieces in the film, in my opinion, is when they broke up. And they were fighting on the stage. You know, they were actually fighting on the stage, and they have audio of it, and they're showing you audio and pictures of when of when Glenn and Felder were going at it and everything. And I'm like, wow, shit, I didn't know they did that in front of people. I was stunned by that. You know, and they're talking about how they made The Long Run, which is still my favorite album. I love Hotel California. I love Desperado. I love The Greatest Hits. I love On the Border. Long Run, even Long Run Out of Eden and Hell Freezes Over. I love those. One second. This is still my favorite Eagles album, people. It's still my favorite one. Her. Now, I saw this movie in a class recently, in a film class. And I gotta tell you, I'm so happy I did, because if I didn't, I probably wouldn't have even put it on this list. Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson were absolutely perfect in this. This was a unique, well thought out, well made story. I really liked it a lot. I really did. And I was really interested in seeing how this relationship was gonna go with Joaquin. I forget the names. I remember Scarlett Johansson's name was Samantha, but I forget what Joaquin Phoenix's name was. I'm sorry, I forget what his name is. But he basically has a relationship with his phone in a way. It's not really a phone. It's more like it takes place in the future. It doesn't take place right now, but I mean, he has like this device that has a woman's voice that it's capable of independent thought, and he has a conversation with her, and it was really interesting, and it tackles on the subject of, you know, loneliness and a lot of things, which of course I can relate to. Oh, don't weep for me, please don't. But I really did enjoy this movie a whole lot, and Spike Jonze, or Jones again, I apologize, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but really well made movie. If you check out Her, guys, it's nominated for Best Picture. It might not get Best Picture, I'm not going to say that, because I got two other movies that might win Best Picture. So aside from that, that's my thought on that movie, Her. It's one of the best films of the year.